We shall be giving you the very latest with that, of course, the persistent rigging claims, unfairness and bribery and a lack of representation is being claimed by those who are there with Will Sige. He shall be giving us more as the day goes along. Moving on, as political parties in the country continue with the nomination exercise and some already concluded, we are focusing on the position of youth in Kenyan politics, giving a look, or rather getting a look at whether the youth were considered by political parties and whether the competition on the ground is fair enough. Clement Masombo is speaking to youth from Nyeri to give us a perspective of youth in politics from that locality. Clement, what's the latest on that front?
Tricks indeed, just after the political parties have conducted their primaries, and of course some continuing already with the exercise, like we've seen in Kakamega, the NC party carrying on with their nomination exercise. In Nyeri County, most parties have already issued tickets to various aspirants. UDA conducted their nomination last week on Thursday, and Jubilee Party yesterday held a consensus, and a number of aspirants were issued the nomination certificates, ranging from the governor, senator, woman rep and members of parliament, as well as those candidates who will be vying for the county assembly seats in various wards in Nyeri. Nyeri County has 30 wards. And right now I want to speak to some of the youth from Nyeri County just to get from their own perspective whether they think that the youth were considered in these political party primaries, and whether they also think that the competition ground was fair enough for them. I will start with Makara Wamboi. Is that I got your name right? He's vying for an MCA seat here in Irware ward, which is here in Nyeri town. From where you sit, do you think the youth were considered in the political party primaries that were just concluded, or even during the consensus as it happened in your Jubilee Party?
Yeah, in Jubilee Party, first I'll start with my constituency. Nyeri town constituency, we have 5 wards. In all those 5 wards, we have four young women and one young woman. Julia Wajiko Gatito Morogoro. I myself am a youth. I was given the nomination certificate for our ward. So Jubilee in my constituency have fairness. Maybe we have a young person in Tetu constituency, MP Martin Luther. Although in the council seats, they were given by order of merit and popularity. So maybe at some point youth might feel that they were shortchanged, but fairly across the whole county, Jubilee Party ensured that youth, women and everyone and professionals were given positions. Like the MCA seat, in that wards, our competitor UD have no single woman, but in Jubilee, every constituency have 1 or 2. Some areas like Madeira, we have 3. So Jubilee Party ensured that gender, youth and everyone and professionals were included in the party selection, and the candidates were given according to the merit on popularity and how they are performing on the ground. So actually, if Jubilee Party will conduct the way they are conducting Nyeri affairs in other counties, I'm sure in the Mount Kenya region, Jubilee will score more than 70% of the total seats.
But Makara, speaking of all the fairness, as you are putting it, there are still complaints about how the whole exercise was conducted. Yeah. We have seen complaints about how they reached an agreement on the woman representative seat. Yeah. There were about 2 youth who were contesting against Nyeri, and she's the one who was given the nomination certificate. Yeah. The youth were left out, and you have also witnessed the complaints about the same.
Yeah. On the women reposition. On the women reposition, actually, Jerry, one thing, she has been on the ground, and she has support from women. That's why the certificate was awarded according to popularity. The other 2 ladies came late to campaign, but they have picked very well. and the parties are picking the best candidate who can win at this time. At this time, the best candidate who can win. So they were looking on popularity and polls. And to our two ladies, they have picked well. It's only that they came late in their campaigns. So them giving, if they had come maybe 1 year or 6 months or 4 months earlier, they could have gained the tickets, as also the challenge to our youth. They need also, when they want to take one person as their candidates, they need to go on the ground, campaign, go on social media, volunteer, offer resources. That's the only time. And unity. So with that one, we'll be able to force. Now we have youth candidates in MCA seats, in the parliamentary seats. It's up to now the youth, because the certificates have already been issued. It's up to the youth now to volunteer, support their candidates, and that one, they will be on a good platform on the table when the resources are being shared and when positions are being shared. So to the next election, youth need to come early, start their campaigns after the general election, interact, do community work, volunteer in the community, and that one, they will be in a position to compete. The election is a competitive process, and all the aspects of competitiveness are looked up to.
And also maybe from where you stand, do you think the different political formations speak of Azimio, because Jubilee Party is under the Azimio coalition? Do you think the Azimio coalition is giving a fair competition ground when you compare maybe in terms of resources, the youth and those who are old enough, maybe they have accumulated resources to facilitate their campaigns? Do you think the ground is fair?
Yeah, the ground is fair. Compared to Steve, like someone like Steve, who was given the ticket for Jubilee senatorial position in Laikipia. He's a young man. The only advantage Steve has, he had committed himself and volunteered in so many community works. So it's upon the youth now to know where they will position themselves in the party, and the party should also ensure that these youth who will be campaigning, who are given a certificate, they will be given resources by the youth, for them, because they are youth, so they can campaign. The other thing is that youth should be nominated. Any position coming, either elective or board members, should be given to the youth so the youth can feel they belong.
And maybe going in future, where do you see the youth, the Kenyan youth in this Kenyan politics? Because considering that some of them, majority of them are aged out because they do not have the necessary resources. In future, maybe speak of after the August 9th polls, where do you see the position of Kenyan youth in politics?
Yeah. One thing, youth might lack resources, but they have one major resource. They are the majority. If this youth of this country and county unites, if the youth of this country and the counties unite, the major resource in politics are numbers. Youth have numbers, so when they unite without even the monetary value and say this the way we will take, and they have one command system, that one will ensure in the election year 2027, any political party will ensure that they respect the way and the will of the youth. So the first thing for our youth in our county and in our country is to unite, and they show they have muscles, because what is needed in politics mostly is not even the money value, it is the grouping and the people's power and the majority of people. If youth are the majority, we need to ensure that our numbers are felt even on the ballot paper, even on the campaign teams. That one will ensure that our numbers are felt. And that will ensure that even without the monetary value, we have the value of the numbers is felt. And the political parties will perfect and respect the will of the youth.
And maybe, Makara, finally with you, let's speak of the youth. We have seen a number of youth who are given the opportunity to serve Kenyans, be it on elective position or some of them even nominated or appointed, and they fail to deliver on what they were appointed or nominated to serve for. What will be your message to the Kenyan youth at large?
Kenyan youth should know that being a youth is not the paramount qualification. When youth given a position, they need to be honest, they need to be committed, they need to own that position, they need also to position themselves for the next appointment or the next journey in the politics. Also, when you are given a position as a youth, you need also to come back to the community, ensure that your position is a stepping stone to other people in that region, and ensure that actually youth is between 18 and 35 is not a permanent age position. So use that as only that you have a lot of energy. Use that energy to ensure that you develop the community, you develop the other youth, you develop yourself. For the next time, you'll be able to compete with everyone, even with the resources and those people who you have built upon. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Of course, those are the words of Makara Wamboi, who is a candidate for the Ruare ward seat here in Nyeri town, of course, vying under the Jubilee ticket. And he is insisting that if any youth is given an opportunity to serve Kenyans, of course, they should serve diligently and do that which they are appointed or elected to do. But that's all from this end of the country. Tricks, of course, we shall be looking forward and having such more conversations as time goes. Tricks.
Thank you very much, Clement Masomo. Very timely and apt conversation right there, the place of youth in politics, particularly with the ongoing primaries in parties that are being held by